Hi, everybody. I just had a meeting with a student that led me to the idea that I need to share this video. So it is a few weeks before the final exam. As you have seen in our syllabus, the final exam may be the only grade that determines the course grade for you in this course. And that might be a wonderful thing because if you have missed some of the introductory assignments, if you have missed some reflection papers, or did not like your score very much on the online homework, you still have a chance to do fantastically by doing well on the final exam. So figuring out how to perform well is the topic of this video. You know about ChatGPT, you know about large language models, so do I. What I'm finding out is that some uses of those, as it comes to tutoring and learning, seem not to be the immediate first choice for you. So let me illustrate what I might want you to be doing with ChatGPT in order to prep between now and the final exam for an excellent final exam and finish this course very strong. So let me share my screen here. I am going to demo with the free version of ChatGPT. And you will have to bear with me and wait a little bit for my very slow and very poor typing. But one thing you could do with ChatGPT is ask it to tutor you. Let's say you don't understand a concept well. I mean, coming up with a generic concept. Let's say I don't understand writing this. Let's say inferior goods. Notice I even spelled it wrong, and it would probably also ask correctly, but I have to check and correct my writing because I'm teaching here too. And you get an explanation with examples. Lots and lots of stuff to read. Let's say you don't feel like reading that much. Please explain in simpler terms and shorter. See how it does with that. You get explanation in simpler terms and shorter. Suit your own level of interest, suit your own ability to read, comprehend. You can go very deep and you can get very shallow with ChatGPT. Let's say that you would like to figure out how to remember this concept. And one thing that I'm finding out I need to tell my students more is reading, nodding, watching videos. These are good ways to put stuff in. But learning also requires you to take things out. So in addition to reading and underlining and watching, you've got to sometimes close absolutely everything and pull out a blank piece of paper and write down a summary of what you think you remember, what you think you just so demonstrated to you in a video or with a definition. So recall is very important. But ChatGPT can help you with recall, and it can help you get ready specifically for the final exam in a very similar way that the A+ test prep does. Here is how I can use ChatGPT right now to recall, remember, and prep for the final exam, specifically for inferior goods. Let's say I need 3 multiple choice questions. We're going to have 5 answers in our multiple choice questions of the final exam. On inferior goods. ChatGPT can without answers. Again, the purpose of that is to have ChatGPT come up with questions, which I am then going to answer, and I'm going to test whether I understand the concept or no. Here it is. Instantaneous. You're going to have questions that are very simple. To sign up for free, I don't want to do that. It will ask me to produce the questions right there. let's say I answer them all wrong. Here are my answers. You get an explanation very similar to what our A+ test prep does. Let's say that even the answer doesn't make sense. Would you please explain more? The third question. And I know that it probably sounds very funny, but I please very often when I chat with Jeanette. There it is. I'm getting an explanation. Create a similar. And there I am. I am going to learn this concept really, really well by diving in and using a resource which is available to me. I'm going to stop share. I think I have given you an idea right now of what you could do with ChatGPT. Of course, you could actually ask it to produce a 60-question exam, very similar to what you might see if you are taking the exam on campus. But since we are having an online exam, we're going to have 30, 35 questions maximum. So create multiple mock exams and use ChatGPT as your tutor. I am sure if you proceed that way between now and the final exam, you will do great. So sharing with you an idea how to use resources available to you, including artificial intelligence. I am sure with ChatGPT, you can become just as good at econ as I am, if not better. And I appreciate your attention and watching this video. Take care.